everybody. It is time for me to overanalyze another moment in musical theater because I have nothing better to do. So everyone should know what I'm playing. It's the beginning of Waving Through a Window from Dear Evan Hansen. But really, it sounds really cool, but really what it is just A, D, E, just written in a cool way to make it sound funky. And it's just 1, 4, 5, but really what they do is they take the A, do the first conversion, then they do D, add 9, and then an E sus4. But what if we took that and transposed it and then did this? Well, what if we just changed it around a little bit, make it a little bit more flowy, and then you get this. So they use the same material to connect Evan and his mom at the end. And I'm sure people talk about this, but it's so... I'm a creeper. In Hamilton, whenever you hear this, that means something very specific. When you're like listening to it or watching it live, you're like, why do I hear that a lot, but why do I hear it in this song instead of this song? Well, it's actually always used to tell the audience, like, hey, here's a big chunk of exposition, and guess what's going to be delivered by? Aaron Burr. I like to call that Burr's cue, because that's always right before he comes in. It's used in the beginning to talk about Hamilton's early life, it's used in Guns and Ships to talk about the war, it's used in Adams' administration to talk about John Adams, and it's flipped on its head twice. So like this... That's right before A Winter's Ball, when Burr's going to talk about like his similarity with Hamilton. Like you think he's going to talk about like more exposition, but really he's just talking about the ladies. But then it's also flipped on its head when you get this in Obedient Servant, Burr's cue, and then you don't get the same chords, but he asks the same questions as the exposition dumps, but he's now angry. In Hamilton the musical, whenever you hear the name Alexander Hamilton sung the same way every time, that's actually a really subtle reference to a real-life founding father and first Secretary of the Treasury, Alexander Hamilton, who was instrumental in the Revolutionary War and its...
And I also don't want me to be doing what I'm doing.
Time for Street Smarts with Detective J.J. Bittenbinder. Shut up, you're all gonna die. Street Smarts. And now there's Nazis again. My wife is a bitch, and I like her so much.
I'm so horny and angry all the time.
I don't know what my body is for, other than just taking my head from room to room. I'm 35, but I'm still like, hey, when am I gonna get big and strong?
Oh no! In fact, we're gonna frame you for murder. And you're gonna go to jail for 30 years.
Okay, so I don't need to tell you how awesome the wait for it phrase and motif is throughout Hamilton. We all know it's really cool. We all acknowledge how smartly integrated it is into the plot of the show and how it symbolizes the difference between Hamilton and Burr. Hamilton does things and Burr waits for it. So let's talk about this specific musical moment in Wait For It. It's in the verses, it's the bass line, so it's like, my grandfather was a fire and brimstone preacher. That's in D flat. But if we take that and we raise it by a major third, we get non-stop. Why do you write like it's going out of style? Write day and night like it's going out of style. So that's really cool because it's like non-stop is the exact polar opposite of Wait For It, and Lin-Manuel Miranda uses the same music for Wait For It because this is Hamilton's Wait For It, but it's the opposite because they have opposing beliefs, and that's really dope.
Sorry for not responding to your text. I suddenly got really anxious for no reason. No, I'm not sad. I'm just really numb inside. Please don't make fun of me, because I'm actually really fragile.
So how can you tell I'm a straight man who does musical theater? This is my go-to outfit for like a dance call. It's just a shitty old loose shirt to show like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, and then sweatpants that are kind of rolled up so I can be like, wow, I'm so rooted.
When you make a joke about Donald Trump's size, that's equating his fatness with his badness. But those things aren't related. He's not bad because he's fat. He's bad because he's a fascist.
I'm sorry that I made you repeat yourself 3 times in a row until I heard you. But if it makes you feel better, I didn't hear you at all. I just didn't wanna look dumb. Oh no, I just stood up too fast. Now all I feel is head down, heart out, eyes bad. Oh my god, this isn't. Okay, I'm fine. If you show me a meme that I've seen before and I don't wanna be, I'll give it a glance, then I'll laugh. You might think I read fast. The joke's on you. I just have a problem. Okay, here's your food. Thank you very much. No problem. Enjoy your meal. You too. Oh no, you look like a fucking dumbass. Hey, I'm sorry for being emotionally unavailable. It's probably because of my baggage. Been hurt a lot in the past. Baggage. I'm messed up inside. Baggage. I'll never know real love. Yeah, well, that sounds like a lot to do with. It is. Here are 3, count 'em, 1, 2, 3 tips for my 100,000 followers. Number 1, be prepared to be seen because of this relatable content, which is pretty cool, I guess. Alright. Number 2, things might be a little bit funkier than they appear. And finally, number 3, prepare to be disappointed. No, seriously, why do you like what went wrong in your life to where you ended up following me? Weird of you. It's not that I'm avoiding you. I'm just scared that the more we talk, the more I'll show you who I am. And once I do, you won't like me anymore. Oh no, I just fell in love with someone I saw on the internet and imagined an entire relationship with them. Oh, I gotta stop doing this. Hey, I'm sorry for being emotionally unavailable. It's probably because of my baggage. Been hurt a lot in the past. Baggage. I'm messed up inside. Baggage. I'll never know real love. Yeah, well, that sounds like a lot to do with. It is. Here are 3, count 'em, 1, 2, 3 tips for my 100,000 followers. Number 1, be prepared to be seen because of this relatable content, which is pretty cool, I guess. Alright. Number 2, things might be a little bit funkier than they appear. And finally, number 3, prepare to be disappointed. No, seriously, why do you like what went wrong in your life to where you ended up following me? Weird of you. It's not that I'm avoiding you. I'm just scared that the more we talk, the more I'll show you who I am. And once I do, you won't like me anymore. Oh no, I just fell in love with someone I saw on the internet and imagined an entire relationship with them. Oh, I gotta stop doing this.
Hey Pablo, I hear that you've been feeling
emotionally unavailable. It's probably because of my bad.
Not the kind that you can fit inside some luggage and forget in the back of a cabin of a mega bus. It's like I don't know love, I can't get a dub. My past is a dud, it's miserable. The pits of abyss of my inner soul are feeling pitiful. It's metaphysical but literal.
Wow, that sounds like a lot.
Oh my.
Hey, don't worry about all the dark, self-deprecating jokes I make. It's a coping mechanism. Coping mechanism. This is how I choose to process my feelings. I laugh so I don't cry. Please don't make fun of me, because I'm actually really fragile.
So I work at a school, and today one of my students said, Mr. L, I'm TikTok famous. And I said, oh my gosh, that's really, really cool. How many followers do you have? And she said, 285. And I said,
When you make a joke about Donald Trump's size, that's equating his fatness with his badness. But those things aren't related. He's not bad because he's fat. He's bad because he's a fascist.
Sorry for not hanging out the other day, it's just that I got overwhelmed. With the thought of being around other people. Hey, they just took real long to respond. Why don't you wait a while before you text them back? Just wait a little bit. Oh no, I already texted them back twice. Haha, I look desperate. Woo!
What a beautiful wedding, what a beautiful wedding, says a bridesmaid to the waiter. What a shame the poor groom's bride is a watermelon. No, I chime in with a haven't you people ever heard of closing the goddamn door.
How am I doing? I'm straight up not having a good time. No, don't mind me, I'm just here wondering if everybody hates me.
I love songs that start with the words and or cuz, because it implies that something happened before the song. Like, cause you make my earthquake. Like, what are you becussing? Like, I want to write a song that starts with, and you know what else? My students almost found my TikTok. Well, in fact, they did. Let's do a quick little flashback to 3 weeks ago. Take it away, Pablo. Okay. Anyways, there was one full day when the school Wi-Fi was down, so I couldn't join any Google Meets, so all the students that I had online from home had nothing to do. Jump to the day after, and one of my students starts the class by saying, Mr. L, you know how we had nothing to do and you didn't join the Google Meet yesterday? Well, we looked you up. So I'm freaking out, so I'm just like, haha, that's so cool, let's move on. She starts sharing her screen and starts typing my name into Google. And here's the thing, when you look up my name, I have a very unique last name. When you look up Pablo, L-A-U, it autofills to Pablo Laucerica TikTok. But my student spelled my own name wrong, even though the name is in the Google Meet. But they still somehow managed to find my Facebook account and my YouTube account. But not my TikTok. Until we flash forward to yesterday, where in the middle of class she says, Mr. L, I found your TikTok. But that's a story for another day.
Hey, I'm sorry for not keeping in touch. I'm just sad and I don't want to bother you with all my problems. So I shut down. Even though I can talk to you, I shut down. You probably wouldn't be bothered. And my brain just thinks that you'll hate me. I need to work on that. Ooh, a new message on Bumble. Time to not come across as the weird person I actually am. Just don't be weird. What's your favorite shoe size? Don't be weird. Are you from Tennessee? Cause nope. Don't be weird. Listen, I'm just on here because I'm lonely and it's been a while and my self-esteem is at an all-time low. So maybe you can do me one day with me. Maybe we'll. Oh, match expired. Better luck next time. Hey, can you remind me that you don't hate me? Cause I get insecure very easily. What's the problem? Hey, just so you know, I'm never gonna be proud of my accomplishments. It's called imposter syndrome. I feel like I'm fried. Imposter syndrome. I don't belong here. feel like I don't deserve anything. I'm unworthy. Hey, I'm sorry for saying sorry so much. Wait, I just did it again. Sorry. Wait, sorry. Oh my god, sorry. Stop doing it. Sorry. Oh my goodness, sorry. I hate myself.
So, I've decided I'm going to start retelling episodes of The Office to my third graders, and I'm going to convince them that those are actually stories from my life. This is how it started. For my birthday, a friend of mine got me a framed photo of my school ID, which I look horrible in, and it's in a Dunder Mifflin frame, and it says Employee of the Month. And all my students have been looking at it because I keep it in my room, and they're like, wait, what is that? And I was like, oh, that's a paper company I used to work at. So today, for instance, my third graders asked about it, and two of my colleagues were in the room with me, so I started riffing, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a paper company I used to work at, Dunder Mifflin. It's actually located in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And they're like, you lived in Pennsylvania? And I was like, yeah, actually. We had this crazy boss. He was so wacky and did a lot of inappropriate things, but it was a really great time, and I actually met the love of my life there. So I think I'm gonna run with it, and in like 10 years, when they watch The Office eventually, they're gonna be like, wait, why is this so familiar?
Oh no, there's a minor inconvenience in my life. I guess it's time to go waste money on coffee. Cause I've got that bean juice make me go fast.